Hey there, Virgo. Welcome to your reading for June 2025. We're going to jump right in here. You have this temptation card. It says, what is tempting you at this moment may not be a wise choice. You have this Virgo card. It says, details, details. You need to look at something more closely. What you need to know lies in the details. So you show up as yourself right there, Virgo. I would definitely be careful of temptations. I've noticed I've only done about 4 of these readings so far, but other people have had things that would kind of represent something tempting them. And what I would say is tempting people right now is like past comfort zones or, past things that were a comfort zone to you in the past. This could be like behaviors, habits, pretty much anything that the devil would represent is what could be tempting you at this time. And really, I don't think this is much of an obstacle. I just think that, it's something to pay attention to is really the way I would put it is it's more like old behavior, right? And so if there are any old behaviors that are not good, and it could be in any area of your life, those are the things that I would be releasing. You start in your current general energies with the Two of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, and the Queen of Cups. Two of Pentacles is like work hard, play hard. I said at the beginning of the year that I felt this summer would be very busy for a lot of people. And so obviously June is the start of the summer, and I think a lot of you, it's like speed is picking up, or maybe you're more motivated to work or put energy into things that you are working on. We have to make sure we're balancing the energy, and you have 2 aces, which is great, but the Ace of Cups can be love, but really it's kind of like a card of doing things that fill you with flow. That cup can just reach down into the water below it and fill itself back up. So I think I've been saying this all year because I feel this summer it's going to be really important that we understand what fulfills us outside of work. And if you do that, things will go well. If you don't, you will suffer. So I would make sure that where you can relax or where you can collect energy. You have the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords could be some sort of victory or success coming in for you. I think that a lot of people are probably going to get these cards of victory or success in June. June kind of feels like a win in some ways. And, when Jupiter, when it moves into Cancer in the middle of the month, I feel it just kind of feels like a switch is being flipped, and maybe people are just going to be feeling more positive or more lighthearted with that Jupiter and Cancer energy, and I think it's going to be pretty much beneficial for everyone. So I feel pretty good about the Ace of Swords. You have the Judgment card as well, and the Ace of Swords with the Justice, Ace of Swords with Justice can kind of be like double justice, so if you've been dealing with any problems that would require justice, then you could be experiencing justice. You have the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is about following your heart, really, and we are in a heart-based time pretty much for the rest of our lives. I think everybody at this time really needs to make sure that they are listening to what their heart is telling them to do. You also go up to the Three of Swords here, and so with the Three of Swords, it's really important that we remove those swords from our heart. Those swords are things that maybe we need to forgive or let go of, and excuse me, I don't really feel there's like a heartbreak or anything coming in for you. But I do feel it would be a good month for you to look at past heartbreaks and to heal from those things so that you can follow your heart. And, right next to the Queen of Cups, we have this Ace of Cups again. So the Ace of Cups kind of is following your heart as well. And I think it would be an amazing time for you to follow your heart. With the Two of Pentacles, you have the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is being too hasty and rushing. So, again, you have that temptation card. Don't rush things. A lot of people, I think, are going to get readings that say this pretty much all summer. So we need to make sure that we are taking our time and that we're not rushing into anything and that we're not, forcing things to happen. And as long as we do that, we'll be fine. But, the Knight of Swords is very much a rushing energy, and he makes mistakes because he's trying to force something to happen. And that could be part of the bad habit that you are releasing is if you get into a relationship, for example, and you try to rush to the finish line, that could be the habit you're changing. If you start a business and you think you're going to make $1 million overnight and you don't, and then you quit, that could be the habit you're changing. So, again, it could be some sort of rushing habit that you're fixing here. With the Ace of Swords, you have the Page of Pentacles. You have the Page of Pentacles twice, and this could be new communication. that's coming in for you. Could be another earth sign that's coming in for you. Could also be a Scorpio as usual. Like I feel like you have a Scorpio orbiter, Virgo, because you always get Scorpio in your readings. And, I don't know if this person's just being a Scorpio and just like hiding under a rock outside the front of your home, right? And they're just like watching you, or I don't know. But, again, there could be communication. I also feel Ace of Swords with the Page of Pentacles can be good news. So you definitely could be getting some good news. With the Queen of Cups, you have the Knight of Pentacles. I feel pretty good about this. I feel like you're making progress. Knight of Swords and Knight of Pentacles are polar opposites, right? Knight of Swords is rushing, doing things too quickly. Knight of Pentacles is not moving at all. He's the only knight in the tarot that is overthinking his situation and is not making a move. So instead of overthinking and instead of rushing, justice is kind of your answer. It says you need to be somewhere in the middle. And like, don't overcommit, don't undercommit. This is a Goldilocks reading, right? You need to, in everything that you do this month, you need to do it in that Goldilocks zone, right? Maybe that's what this reading is saying, is that middle place, that where you're not like giving too much, but also not under giving, or just right, I think would be a very good thing for you to practice at this time. And, again, it's kind of hard. I'm sure someone's going to ask, like, how do I know what the Goldilocks zone is? And really, there is no good answer, but it's like whatever you're doing, you should be giving enough to where you feel like you're making a good investment. But if you're feeling exhausted, then you're giving too much. If something feels like an obligation, you're giving too much, and maybe you need to back off, right? But I feel like kind of balanced action is what this is saying. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this imagination clouds your judgment. You also have this dagger. It says conflict and danger lie in wait. I don't really see that in the reading, but I feel this is more. It's like, how do I describe this here? I feel like this is more anxiety here, Virgo. It's like sometimes I think something can happen to us, and then we do what I call checking, which is where, like, let's say you had a very toxic relationship or something. It's like when you get into the next one, it's like your mind is constantly checking if things are wrong. You get what I'm saying? And I feel like this is saying that it's not saying that you shouldn't be aware, but it does say that you might be being like hyper vigilant at this time. And you might just need to like bring the anxiety down a little bit in a situation. I'm just using relationships as an example. It could be anything, but I kind of feel that's what these two cards are saying. It's a good reading, but, again, the anxiety might just be a little bit high, especially if you have something from the past. And maybe your solution is just to heal with that Three of Swords. You have this Death card, the Justice card, and the Ace of Cups. Death can, of course, represent a transformation or a big change that's coming in for you. So there could be like a positive transformation or change that's coming in for you at this time. The funny thing is, like, I feel like this is attached to the good news that could be coming in for you. The thing about the Death card is he has this white rose on his banner here, and that white rose can kind of represent the light at the end of the tunnel. And so a lot of you, it's like maybe the good news is that in some situation in your life, you're kind of getting to light at the end of the tunnel. The other thing is we have the two pillars from the moon right here, and the sun is coming up between those two pillars. So sometimes I feel the Death card, even though it comes up before the moon card, sometimes I feel it's saying like the sun is coming up, and you could be getting a lot of clarity on situations in your life, and that could be the good news. You have the Justice card. Really, this is the energy that I would really be focusing on in this reading, is justice. Justice is about taking a neutral approach or a neutral perspective to anything that you're doing at this time. Like, he's not really thinking anything in his life is all good or all bad. He's sitting in the middle of the card, and he's allowing the evidence to speak for itself, right? And so that would probably be a good energy for you to embrace this month, especially if you're feeling anxious about something. Like if you're dating a person and you find yourself, kind of checking. Like I said, if you find yourself saying to yourself, oh, I bet this person's cheating, or I bet this is happening, or that's happening. The Justice card says, is there evidence? And if there is, then the answer is simple: leave. If there is no evidence, then I feel like you just need to tell your brain that this is just anxiety. I am just checking, and I don't need to do this, right? And so I think taking a neutral perspective this month could be a good idea. The other thing I'm getting here is that if you have been dealing with anything legal, like for an extended period of time, there could be some justice coming in with that Justice card. You have the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups can be your emotions overflowing. I would really, like, sure, yeah, this could be love coming in for you, but I really feel this is talking about you doing more things that cause you overflow. It is, like, critically important. People, I talk about this all the time now because I think we're in a time where we need to fill ourselves up more. We need to fill the fun bucket more so that we have the energy to do the things that we're going to do this summer, right? So having, like, finding a hobby, finding something that fulfills you. It could even be like a movie. It could be something nice that you do for yourself every once in a while, right? Doing something like that and figuring out what that is for you, I feel could be, like, extra beneficial. So that's what I would do with that Ace of Cups. With the Death card, you have the Three of Swords. Yes, definitely something that's changing here with the Three of Swords twice. So you could be working on something that hurt you. This could be something like a situation where you felt stabbed in the back. And, it just intuitively, it feels like something that has taken a long time to heal, Virgo. A lot of you have been healing this for a long time. With the Justice card, you have the King of Wands. King of Wands is about being bold, being assertive, really sticking up for yourself and going for what you want. I kind of feel in some ways this is kind of like saying Virgo is like a train this month. I feel like you are like a bullet train, like one of those super fast trains in Japan, right? That go like 9,000 miles an hour or whatever it is. But it's like you're going in a direction. And this is the attitude you should have, right? If people want to get on the train and go on this journey with you, great. If they don't, then they need to be careful that they don't get hit, right? And so I kind of feel like you're a little bit of like a steamroller or a bulldozer or something like that this month, where it's like you're really charging through things. I don't know, feels good to me. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Four of Pentacles. Behavior, the trick, I'm cheating because of your astrology, Virgo. I see this in your astrology. The thing that I would say to Virgo is, again, those behaviors that we hold on to. We all do this, right? I still do this. And so I'm far from perfect. I'm not talking down to you here, Virgo, but it's like we all have certain behaviors that we hold on to protect ourselves from things. And I don't think the reading, of course, is saying don't protect yourself, but I do feel it's saying, be careful of those behaviors that could push something that's good away from you. He's holding on too tightly to the past. And he's afraid of letting go because he's afraid that he won't get anything. He's holding on to these Four Pentacles because he's basically saying to himself, I have these Four Pentacles. Like, sure, I could go get 10 Pentacles, but what if it doesn't work? Then I'll have lost 4 Pentacles and I'll have nothing. Like that, he's afraid of poverty, and this doesn't have to be in money. This could be in any area of your life. And so I feel like for some of you, this is about letting go, really, just plain and simple. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this lion spirit. It says, be generous of spirit. You have this dog spirit. It says, be loyal to what you love. Ace of Cups, right? You need to be loyal to the things that that really matter to you in life, and you need to stick up for those things. I think it could be a very generous month. Like this card says, be generous of spirit, which could be about you, but I kind of feel like spirit is being generous to Virgo this month, and that could be something that really stands out to you. You have the Three of Swords, Page of Pentacles, and the Knight of Wands. The Three of Swords, like I said, there's really not much to say here. I feel like you could be healing from a past, heartbreak or heartbreaking situation. I really feel this is something that's more specific for you. Like this isn't like a heartbreak. I think it could be, but I think it's like a bigger theme, something that has happened for a long time, or something that has been kind of like weighing on you for a long time, Virgo, and you could finally be forgiving that and moving forward, or you could finally be letting go of whatever that, thing is from the past and releasing it and letting it go, which I think would be amazing for you, of course. And, I think that healing would be a big improvement. The Three of Swords, like I said, is about forgiveness. So we don't have to forgive a person directly. We just have to forgive them in our heart. And if we do that, then we will be much better. And sorry, my brother likes to set the air conditioning to like 50 degrees in my house for whatever reason. And it just messes with my lungs, the air conditioning. So I apologize for the coughing. Maybe I need to forgive him. Like I will join you in this forgiveness journey, and I will forgive him at this point, right? You have the Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles could be a new person. I don't know that I would really say, like, sure, there's love here, and you could be starting to talk to a person, but, It kind of feels like the beginnings of a situation to me. So it might just be communication at this point. Like I said earlier, there's no rush. You are trying to find the Goldilocks zone of something that you're doing in your life, or you're trying to find that like sweet spot. Maybe that's a good way to put it, in some area of your life, and it could be something new. I think a lot of people are going to be doing something new this month. Obviously, we have this new moon on the 26th, but this is a real new moon that we're having on the 26th of May. So it's the first new moon we're having after all those retrogrades that we had since November. We've had new moons in between, of course, but it's like the first one since all those retrogrades have ended. And so I think, I really feel people are going to feel like brand spanking new. Today is May 23rd. So I will be publishing this on May 24th. And like I said, I feel like people are going to be like, it's a brand new day. I feel refreshed. I feel new. And you could be definitely feeling it. You have the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is a card of adventure. Knight of Wands is about being spontaneous. You start with that card that says details, details. Virgo is very detail oriented. I kind of feel this is encouraging you to maybe do some, it's like, I don't know, this is going to sound so stupid, Virgo, but I'm just going to say it anyway. It's like I have a clown popping into my head right now. But I feel like you need to be more of a clown. And I'm not talking about like in a bad way. I'm saying that, well, let's put it this way. We have Saturn in Aries. When I publish this video, Saturn will have basically moved into Aries. And Saturn in Aries, there's something about it, about our like deeper truth and speaking our mind and not holding back. When you think about it, we've had all this energy in Pisces. Neptune was in Pisces. Saturn was in Pisces. Pisces is very below the surface. And, Pisces can definitely hold things back, right? And so with all this energy moving into Aries now, it's like we have to put things center stage. And so really, I think the people that are going to stand out over the next like 20 years are going to be the people who aren't afraid to speak up. But on a personal level, this could mean that you have to be more playful or speak your mind more. And that's kind of like the energy I get here. Knight of Wands is very spontaneous. He does have, kind of foot and mouth disease, right? Where he says things before he thinks about it. And I wouldn't necessarily recommend that, but I would speak up. With the Three of Swords, you have the Judgment card. A lot of exes coming back at this time for whatever reason. Again, I am one of the only readers that says do not go back to the past. So, I'm not suggesting that you do, but, this could be an opportunity for you to heal something from the past. You could be like forgiving the past or letting it go. The other thing that's popping into my head here, Virgo, is that if there are like literal things that you have been holding on to from the past, like physical items, I feel this could say that releasing those things could clear out the energy and really help you progress. With the Page of Pentacles, you have Lovers. Yeah, like I said, a little bit of love here. I felt at the beginning of the reading that the Page of Pentacles could be love. So this could be definitely a new person that's coming in for you. I think it'll be very good for you, Virgo. Like very positive connection. I think it'll probably be something that is very happy. And again, I think you're going to be taking your time. This is definitely not something that you're just going to be rushing right into. The other thing here is that this could be like a new opportunity for you that's coming in. The Lovers can be a choice, and you could be just taking advantage of, new opportunity in work or business or whatever. Yep, with the Knight of Wands, you have the Two of Wands. Definitely time to be more spontaneous. The Two of Wands also has to let go of a comfort zone. His village is down here, and he has the whole world in his hands. But, the Two of Wands can represent making progress. But for him to make progress, he has to get out of the castle that he is standing in, and he has to get out into the world. So I think it's definitely time for you to, kind of like go on adventures, get into the world, go have fun, do things you've never done before, kind of like explore, be spontaneous, all those things. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have a support card and this patience card. I think that Virgo has to ask for support. So there are like plenty of people that can help you, but I feel like you have to ask for it. I feel like you have been very patient, and you could finally be getting the results from your patience, which obviously would be a good thing as well. You have the Five of Wands, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles. The Five of Wands can be conflict or competition. In the good stuff, the Five of Wands actually says you could be standing out above the competition. I feel like this is something that I've been saying to you for a while. I feel like Virgos, like if you have a career or a specific like business or something, I feel that you speaking your mind, Four of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, Two of Wands, and kind of like sharing your thoughts and not really being afraid of what people will think is going to be the thing that makes you stand out the most. It's like the Five of Wands sometimes I think is a card of creating a competitive advantage, like being different enough that you stand out above the competition. And so a lot of you could be doing things to stand out above the competition, and whatever those things are, I feel will be very good with this card. You have the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is a change in direction. He's looking at those pentacles and he's saying, is the juice worth the squeeze? Now, you're very good at this. This is the card of analysis, and you're a Virgo, so I think you are very good at analyzing things. But he's looking at everything he's grown in his life, and he's saying, is it worth it or not? Like, was it worth it for me to grow these pentacles, or is there something better I could have done with my time? And, there really is no, advice with this card. I think it's just saying that you could be looking at the progress you're making and you're just saying, is it worth it or not? And it's just that simple. Again, I would look at the evidence with the Justice card. I feel like the Justice card is saying, as long as you're weighing your options and as long as you are looking at things clearly, you will be able to make good changes. You have the Knight of Pentacles again. Again, Knight of Pentacles in the good stuff is making progress. So I do feel that you are making slow and steady progress. I kind of do feel that. Like staying in that Goldilocks zone, staying in that sweet spot of whatever you're working on this month is really going to lead to probably the best flow or the best result. And, I would just find a good rhythm this month, especially in work or business, but pretty much with anything that you're working on, it's like that's what this reading really wants you to do, is it wants you to find that sweet spot, that pocket, right? With the Five of Wands, you have the High Priestess. High Priestess is about trusting your intuition, so I feel for a lot of you that it is definitely going to be a good time for you to listen to your inner voice. The other thing is we have the Judgment card in Lovers. This right here and this right here is your higher self angel. So your higher self could literally be trying to communicate with you, and you need to listen with the High Priestess card. The High Priestess card is also the card of unlimited potential. She has no roof over her head, and it kind of says there are no limits to what she can accomplish. The only limit is what she believes she can accomplish. So I feel a lot of you could be really accomplishing a lot if you put the time, effort, energy into accomplishing a lot. Basically you will. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is about seeing clearly for the first time. She only has clouds halfway up her body, and she's looking into the future. So she is like seeing the future clearly for the first time. So a lot of you could be getting a lot of clarity, or you could be understanding things on a deeper level in your life. And of course, that would be a good thing. I would trust what you're seeing at this time, but I really just feel clarity. With the the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Four of Swords. Four of Swords is resting, relaxing, recovering. Like I said, it's going to be a busy month for you, so I would be taking your time to heal, rest, relax, recover. Any moments you have to listen to your inner voice or whatever would be good. You have this Cup card. It says you should accept valid criticism. The funny thing that's popping into my head here for you, Virgo, is I feel like you're not taking criticism. So, I feel that, if you went back, 10 years in your life, it's maybe things that people say to you would have affected you much more. But it's now, I feel like things are affecting you less. So, yeah, that's what I feel there. You have this Vulture card. It says depression, anxiety, worry that someone is against you. We talked about this at the beginning of the reading. I definitely felt something about anxiety, or I don't know. It's that Dagger card was saying to me checking, but I feel like it's anxiety. It's not real. So, if you're entering into any new situations and if you're worried about something that happened in the past, I would really let go of those fears because I just think it's not true. You have this Gong card. It says an exciting event. So definitely could be some positive, improvements coming in for you at this time, or some excitement. You have this Broom. It says new home, new attitude. It is a really good time to clean up your environment. Really, that card for me would be the Nine of Pentacles, but you have this. So I think that, creating a positive environment of success around yourself would be a really good idea with this card. Some of you literally could just be creating an environment of success. You have this well card. It says family wishes come true. I'm pretty sure, Virgo, that you always get these cards about family with me. So a lot of you could be dealing with things with family or clearing things up with family. You could be forgiving family as well. And, obviously that would be a good thing. But overall, this looks very good. Pretty simple as well. So I like it. But thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your month.